What's going on, people? I'm your host, Indy Pride, and we're back at it with some high-level Warhammer 2 action today, as Shetland Apache's Tomb Kings face off against Xiphos and the High Elves. And leading the Azure into battle is Tyrion, Mr. Steal Yo Girl, the King Cucker of Ulthuan, astride the Italian stallion Malhendir. And if you're rocking with the Chad Tyrion against Spooky Scaries, there's one thing on your mind: Sunfang, which will absolutely obliterate Tomb Guard and skeletons, and really help turn infantry fights in your favor. And the Heart of Avalorn is equipped here as well. That burst of HP can swing a battle in your favor if you're lucky, while Silver Helms are not amazing cab by any means, but at their price point they can get the job done. And as a hammer and anvil from them, well, it'll pretty much put the nail in the coffin for most infantry they get their hands on if they rear charge. But this replay is from Shetland Apache's perspective, with Arkhan the Black, the Mortarch of Sacrament, who combines the utility of a caster lord with some very decent melee stats, and he has some of the best support spells in the game. I think he's unequivocally the best Tomb King's lord, and probably one of the best lords overall in Mortal Empires. Just brings so much to the table for you, but it's always good to bring some backup, which a Necrotech can do if he would stop stabbing himself in the face. Quit hitting yourself, my dude, you look ridiculous. But he can heal constructs, obviously, and Brand Braces of the Sun gives him a -9 melee attack aura and an AoE, so filling in as a second leadership bastion can make him a pretty worthwhile investment, especially if Arkhan goes down. And the Tomb Scorpion is kind of that quintessential Tomb King's construct. Relatively cheap at 1,000 gold, impossible to shoot, tough to lock down, and gives you that all-important terror. And he's bringing Emotep along for a ride in the back of that sarcophagus, so you know he's a good lad. But Apache will get it popping here with 4 Skeleton Horseman Archers, which are just that perfect combination of cost efficiency and mobility that has become so prevalent in the competitive meta, with a whole wing of Spooky Scaries hidden in the trees here in the Bretonnian countryside, with a Tomb Scorpion, Tomb Guard with halberds, a Necrotech, and 2 Ushabti waiting on the wings for some extra punching power in that melee grind. And a very wide build. Look at all those Skelly boys on the field, spread all over the plains on Bretonnia here. And for Xiphos and the High Elves, mix of High Elf Spearmen and Phoenix Guard with noble support means there's a good chance he will be outnumbered and enveloped in the infantry fight, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. If his Sunfangs are on point, Tyrion can really punish those blobs super heavy. And already, Malhendir and that 95 speed are gonna go to work. I think Skeleton Horsemen are only 76 speed, and they don't have poison, so they will be caught if Tyrion gets into melee range and gets his charge off, which he has now, and he'll beat the crap out of them. He can smack a lot of Skelly boys around for sure. But they are going to get away here. Now they're going to go in. They're going to straight up go in and pin him down early on, completely surround him, and that is way too much mass for Tyrion to pull out of, and the Tomb Scorpion is coming over. Maybe get some really good damage onto him here. I like that move, but he's going to get a Sunfang down. Shetland Apache will obviously not want to stick around for that, and will escape just in time as the Noble comes in to reinforce. And they get some damage here. They're going to kill some models on the Skeleton Horseman Archers. But that was a really interesting passage of play right at the start of the game. Could have just lost all his Skeleton Horsemen to that Sunfang probably. And the Nobles in there in melee too, already gotten like 9 kills on those Horsemen. But that could have been really bad for Tyrion. He got into a very, very precarious position at the start of that battle. But already, the infantry are moving in, and the ambush is sprung as Shetland Apache and the Tomb Guard, his Tomb Scorpions, his Ushabti, pretty much everything hidden on that wing, are now moving in to engage on Xiphos' left flank. Spirit Leech has gone down on Tyrion. He'll have run of the battlefield for now. There isn't a lot of stuff that can actually pin him down, except for that weird ambush from Skeleton Horseman Archers, which I don't think will happen again. But the Spirit Leech will poke him down over time, and that will definitely start to rack up damage over the course of this battle. Silver Helms and Phoenix Guard moving up to do some fighting early on, getting ready to receive the charge. There will be an overcast Earthblood on both the Noble and Tyrion, but needs to be very careful, because those Ushabti will make quick work of that caster. She is on foot, does not have a mount, and that could be a problem, because she cannot run away from Ushabti unless she has support from her Silver Helms. But on top of Spirit Leech, Arkhan has his Tomb Blade for summoning, his Staff of Nagash for power recharge rate and cooldown reductions, and the purple Sun of Xereus. I adore that spell, and it will find a beautiful home here, giving some High Elf souls a juicy suck. And that blob, ripperoonies, my dude. Gonna take 2 Silver Helms and a Phoenix Guard down past half HP, and Quan Chi will be pleased. Many new souls to serve him in another realm, but not a great start, honestly, for the High Elves. Terror Routes going off everywhere. Lore of Lifecaster already down to half health and running. Curious if Xiphos will be able to stabilize here, but I like this aggression from the Tomb Kings early, just swarming that left flank of the Azure, taking a decisive engagement there early, overrunning these High Elf Spearmen, overrunning a lot of the important targets. Tyrion has been healed, and of course that Lore of Lifecaster will come back, but yeah, I mean, that was a very decisive engagement early on. Got a lot of damage done to some really high value targets. Getting that cavalry off the field. Silverhelm's really good too. They will also come back. Curious if the Earthblood will be able to maybe get them back in the fight there. They're at half HP. They should be fine. But Realm of Souls has popped now. Tomb Scorpion going to work here in the middle of the Phoenix Guard, and they're kind of isolated, a little bit surrounded right now. That armor piercing will really hurt them, even though they are bonus versus large. They've taken a lot of damage, and one of them will try to run. Where are you going, buddy? No, underground with you, straight into the dirt. And I love that animation, man. Every time I see that thing, I am a happy camper. It is so much fun to watch. And whoop, good night, sweet prince. You're coming with me. Coming with me. Underground here. It's so awesome. And Liber Mortis going down as well. 44% physical resistance in an AoE is so strong and often so necessary to keep Tomb King's infantry trading cost efficiently. But Silverhelms will get a good charge in and pull out and cycle charge again. Just got to keep them moving. Got to make sure that mobility stays on the field. Cannot afford to be losing cavalry at this stage of the battle. Tyrion and the Phoenix Guard holding really strong right now, though, and Tyrion should be able to take down quite a few of those Ushabti without much issue. Third tier of Realm of Souls has popped, and that means Ushabti have been summoned in the backfield, and Shetland Apache will look to go straight after the caster, which is brilliant play. Really good idea, because he wants that Lore of Lifecaster gone. Never wants to see another Earthblood or regrowth for the rest of this battle, and there are 2 skeleton units right now that are doing absolutely nothing. A bit of a miss micro, and it looks like Xiphos is about to punish that pretty hard. I think you guys already know what's about to happen. Look at that. Oh my god. Full on incineration. Sunfang doing what it does best, taking out 2 full units in a single cast, and that is, what, more than 200 kills in a single one right there. And bigger issue also, Skeleton Horsemen out on this flank being miss-microed. Silverhelms are going to get a good charge into them and start cutting them down. And I don't think Shetland Apache is actually aware that his horse archers are getting murdered right now, and they're going to get charged on the other flank as well. And that's a lot of value that's getting lost right here, because they have decent missile damage. They can do a lot of work over the course of battle if they use all their ammo. If they get killed by Silverhelms, that's a lot of damage they're not going to get to do. Mrs. Life Mage, be behind you. Oh god, children, close your eyes. Oh no. She ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3. Yeah, well, I think the Life Mage is out of the picture at this point. Really well played from Shetland Apache to summon those and head directly for the Mage. And that means no more healing, except from maybe the Heart of Avalorn if it decides to proc. Meanwhile, Tomb Scorpion getting bullied, getting absolutely beasted on, taken to Pound Town by the Noble, and probably needs to find a new engagement, get over, link up with Arkhan the Black and the rest of the army. Tyrion is just fighting it out in the middle of a huge horde, but he has been constantly poked down by that Spirit Leech from Arkhan, and he's very, very low. And the Ushabti, they're doing their stuff right now. They are making short work, quick work of these Phoenix Guard. Guardians of the Shrines of Azurion making their last stand here, but they're in trouble. And Xiphos, I feel like this game is maybe slipping away from him at this point. The Ushabti are just carving stuff up. The Tomb Guard are swarming. Tyrion is very close to routing. I mean, look at that. Slivers of HP left. High Elves Spearmen completely surrounded. And I would definitely say that in the center here, Tomb Kings have the advantage. And as the Noble comes in, the Tomb Scorpion is starting to take a beating. And Xiphos is doing a really good job of making sure that Noble doesn't hit anything but that Tomb Scorpion. But Terror Rout has set in, and Tyrion is trying desperately to push out of this engagement. Look at that, Slivers. He's like 1 or 2 hits, so he's like 2 hits away from being dead. If Arkhan gets 1 more Spirit Leech in right now, Tyrion will die, and I'd say that this game is over if that happens. Necrotech still around, and big fight brewing here. I mean, but look at that. In the background there, the Skeleton Horse Archers have all been killed off by the Silverhelms. Shetland Apache, I think, completely forgot about them, and that's a big issue, too. So there's still, I mean, High Elves are definitely in this fight, but it revolves around Tyrion. Tomb Scorpion gotta swing that tail down one more time, and the Heart of Avalorn will proc. and that's 1,000 health that Tyrion just got back. And if he's able to push out of this blob now, which I think he will be able to, Ushabti are coming in and actually pushing some of those bodies out of the way. Tomb Scorpion as well. And Tyrion is desperately trying to push out, but now he's no longer close to dying. I mean, he's still low, but he's not one spell away from death. So that life-saving burst of hit points, literally, it's going to keep the High Elves in the fight here. And Tyrion's free, and he's going to have a new lease on life. And the Noble is still continuously using that bonus first large and that AP to whittle down that Tomb Scorpion. Tyrion has just rallied, and they can gang up on him now. Livor Mortis has gone down again. 44% physical resistance in an AoE, and that, I think, +8 leadership as well. So, I mean, in this kind of fight, Arkhan is really showing how impactful he can be. Another Spirit Leech going down, though, and Tyrion is at 700 health now, almost. Tomb Scorpion is a couple hits from death. Skeleton Archers, the remnants of them coming in and charging from the rear, and the Tomb Scorpion goes down. Arachnid can say goodnight, and Tyrion with Sunfang will have no problem carving through these guys, and the Bony Boys will start dropping. And Arkhan the Black needs to be very careful, because Tyrion getting that health back, the Noble's just routed, which is actually a big deal, but the Silver Helms and Tyrion can now try to hunt down Arkhan, and he does not have a lot of infantry to support him right now. And suddenly, Arkhan the Black is in a very precarious position. If those Silver Helms are able to completely surround him, Tyrion will have a field day smacking him around. He has 77 melee attack, like 70 melee defense. Will have no problem beating up Arkhan, the skinny nerd that he is. I mean, Arkhan, for a caster especially, really good melee combatant, 450 weapon strength, decent melee stats, but he can't deal with this by himself. He will kind of finagle his way out there and summon some skeletons from the Tomb Blade of Arkhan. Very important right now, because that kind of meat shielding, or bone shielding, I guess you could say, is exactly what the Tomb Kings need right now. They need numbers, they need bodies, they need time for Arkhan to use that Staff of Nagash and generate enough wins for maybe one more Spirit Leech to get rid of Tyrion for good. But look at that aggression from Shetland Apache, going right after the Noble, getting one more attack in, trying to make sure that that thing doesn't come back to the fight. It will stabilize, he will stabilize there. But the Phoenix Guard and the High Elf Spearmen have cleaned up their fight now, and we've got a very epic ending to this battle brewing. Skeletons that have been summoned from the Tomb Blade going in, Arkhan the Black trying desperately to stay away from that Noble, from the Goon Squad, from Tyrion and the Silver Helms. But they're about to get rear charged. Arkhan getting his own rear charge in. The Necrotech is still around somewhere. Really nice charge from the remnants of the Silver Helm, sending them flying. And Arkhan is going to go, I think, like he might want to just go after the Noble and quickly get it off the field. Almost did, but he's missing his attacks. And he can't fight Tyrion and the Noble by himself. He needs something. Imagine if he still had his Ushabti summon right now. Balance bar starting to shift a little bit in the High Elves' favor, which is ridiculous, considering this has been in the advantage of the Tomb Kings for almost the entire battle. Arkhan the Black is in a really bad spot. He's getting beat up now, and as the skeletons crumble, remember they were summoned, so they are going to have that degen aura. They're just going to start dying by themselves, and they can't fight Phoenix Guard. They were never going to be able to do that. Arkhan the Black, completely surrounded now, and Xiphos is going to take this battle. Arkhan the Black is crumbling, the Lieutenant of Nagash will fall, and that will be the end of the game pretty much. I mean, there might be still the Necrotech left, but yeah, he goes down. Crazy. Crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Xiphos got a little bit lucky there to get that Heart of Avalorn proc, but that's why you bring it, that's why you invest in it. It's not always gonna go off. He's gonna start beating up on the Necrotech as well. As coming in now, he's crumbling. This is over. But yeah, I mean, that's why you bring it, right? Like, certainly there's like a little bit of RNGesus there, but that's why you invest in it. And it saved him. It saved the High Elves. It saved Tyrion. And let's not take away from Xiphos here. I mean, he had some really nice plays there, especially once Tyrion got out of that fight to kind of disengage, stay away from the Spirit Leeches, and then goon Arkhan multiple times, take him from what was mostly full, like 75% HP, all the way down to 0. When Tyrion was on the verge of death for a very, very long time. I mean, really close battle. Really well played to both players. I'd say that there were two really important kind of keystone moments of that battle, though. One was having the two skeletons kind of overlap and then miss micro them, forget about where they were, and then just get blasted into oblivion. by Sunfang, I mean, that's 2 full units of skeletons. They're not going to do a lot of damage, but they meat shield really well for you, and they tie stuff up, and they will still kill stuff. And there was not a lot of High Elves left at the end of that battle, so that was a big loss. It's impossible to stop one of them from dying, but 2 in a single cast is a problem. And then the Skeleton Horseman Archers, that was a big issue as well. I mean, he forgot about them. If the Skeleton Horseman Archers had been microed that whole time, Silverhounds would have died. He would have had more than enough ammo, I think, to finish off what remained of the High Elves. So, a really fun battle. I think both players played really well, and it was a hell of a lot of fun to watch. So, I mean, look, micro mistakes happen in the best of games and the worst of games. We've all been there. I remember plenty of my games have been lost on a simple micro mistake like that. Sometimes you just forget about your units, and it happens. But either way, I mean, I think Shetland Apache did a lot of things there that would have won him the game in any other game there. He got really unlucky with the way that Heart of Avalorn procced, and Tyrion was able to disengage. And then Xiphos did a really good job capitalizing on it. He also killed 4 healthy units of Skeleton Horse Archers with 2 battered Silver Helms. That's a big swing. It was awesome to see Purple Sun get used so well, and even the Ushabti summon made a huge impact there. Immediately fear routed the caster, and then just ran her down, sliced her head right from her shoulders, made sure no more Earthbloods or Regrowths could go the way of the Noble. And I'm almost positive Tyrion hit the healing cap that battle. He got an absurd amount of healing, especially from that Heart of Avalorn at the end. And I even thought the interplay between Tyrion and those Skeleton Horse Archers at the beginning was really interesting to watch. I've never seen a start to a battle like that ever. It was really weird, but really cool. Sunfang could have wrecked everything, but Shetland Apache was just like, nope, I'm out of here. And yeah, I mean, overall, really enjoyable battle. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I always love seeing my boy Tyrion rack up 268 kills against good competition. But I will see you all in the next video. Indie Pride, signing out for now.